efforts to ease financial stress caused by COVID-19 disruptions by relaxing repayment pressures and improving access to working capital. And 4, endeavor to improve the functioning of markets in view of the high volatility experienced with the onset and spread of the pandemic. I would announce them in broadly 3 sections. The first section relates to liquidity measures. A multi-pronged approach comprising both targeted and system-wide liquidity provision has been adopted to ensure that COVID-related liquidity constraints are eased. The first announcement relates to targeted long-term repo operations, TLTRO. Let me elaborate further. Large sell-offs in the domestic equity, bond and forex markets have intensified redemption pressures. Liquidity premia on instruments such as corporate bonds, commercial papers and non-convertible and debentures have surged. Financial conditions for these instruments, which are used inter alia to access working capital in the face of the slowdown in bank credit, have also tightened. To mitigate the adverse effects on the economic activity leading to pressures on cash flows across sectors, the Reserve Bank will conduct auctions of targeted long-term repos of up to 3-year tenor of appropriate sizes for a total amount up to rupees 1 lakh crore at a floating rate linked to policy repo rate. Liquidity availed under the scheme by the banks has to be deployed in investment-grade corporate bonds, commercial paper and non-convertible debentures over and above the outstanding level of their investments in these bonds as on March 25, 2020. Eligible instruments comprise both primary market issuance as well as secondary market purchases, including from mutual funds and non-banking finance companies. Investments made by the banks under this facility will be classified as held to maturity, HTM, even in excess of 25% of the total investment permitted to be included in HTM portfolio. Exposures under this facility will also not be reckoned under the large exposure framework. The first auction of rupees 25,000 crores under this arrangement will be conducted later today. The relevant notification in this regard is being issued separately. The second announcement under the liquidity measures includes cash reserve ratio, CRR. It is observed that despite ample liquidity in the system, its distribution is highly asymmetrical across the financial